Okay, this is a screen capture to show you a bit about how Stop Spammers plugin works and setting it up. So anyway, first thing you'll want to do is go into WordPress and you can type in any of the following terms: stop login, stop spammers, and it'll bring up the Stop Spammers plugin. Then you'll want to install it, activate it. Then once active, there's a couple of minor settings to do. You'll find its settings area located under the settings menu, Stop Spammers. Activate that. Brings it up for all of your settings for here. First thing you'll want to do is throw an IP, and it automatically logs and checks out your IP address and whitelists you because you're logged in as an administrator. So, and just in case, you can toss a quick check of your IP address in there. Comes in clean, you're good. Bring it down the line here. Prevent logouts. Okay, and then we've got some settings right here to prevent logouts or lockouts, preventing you from being locked out of your site. Now the first setting here is to automatically add admins to a whitelist. And this is for whenever an administrator on your site logs in, the IP address is added to the whitelist automatically. The next one here is one you'll want to uncheck as soon as you can. It checks credentials on all login attempts. And what it does in the process here is it checks to see if you're a valid user. And it checks to see if there's a valid user for every login attempt. The problem with this is it can allow for thousands of attempts before they are completely blocked for the site. So by unchecking it, what it does is it prevents it checking every single time for a valid user and then runs against the IP addresses. And that's one of the reasons why you run the checkup here for your IP, to see if your IP happens to be in some spam list that you don't know about. So you'll uncheck that box as soon as you can. The next one here is a box to check the IP address. If you uncheck it because it looks like everything is from a single IP, or they're behind a not a firewall but a proxy server, that creates problems. But if you uncheck it, it can create problems for you. So leave it checked. API keys. You can go get API keys from the following places: Stop Forum Spam, Honeypot API key, Bot Scout API, WordPress API, all of these areas for APIs for checking against spammers. If you go and get those keys, you will greatly increase the protection that this plugin provides. So after you get your API keys, then there's something else you might want to look at, which is spam limits. This limits here, you may or may not want to use these. I probably wouldn't. What you can do though is you could allow someone who's maybe made a mistake or two here and there to be allowed through your spam filters. Maybe someone is listed as Stop Forum Spam and they've had less than 5 incidents in the last 999,000 days. So you could say, set that up and allows them to get through. If you allow that through, you could be allowing spammers through. Chances are you won't, but who knows. Other checks you can run through here. You can block spam missing HTTP accept header. Blocks users who have incomplete headers, blocks an invalid HTTP refer, check email address. This will also check the email address that they're using in addition to an IP address. Deny disposable email addresses. These are disposable addresses that often come from, say, Hotmail, Yahoo, any of those other free sources. Check for long emails or author name. This rejects them if they're over 64 characters. Check for agents, response timeouts, and on and on. Now some of the ones that aren't checked automatically here is blacklist searches for WordPress PHP files. So if someone does a search on your site for PHP files, they're automatically blacklisted from your site. Not a bad thing, because no one needs to be searching for PHP files. And then we blacklist logins attempts using the admin user ID. On this one, What it's for is one of the biggest security concerns that happened with WordPress a long time back was the removal of the default admin as the main administrator username. If you've still got that on your site, it could be a problem, but you want that removed. And what this does is if someone tries to log into your site using the term admin, they're automatically blacklisted. This works if you don't have an admin account, and it is dangerous to have that account. Check Tor. Block comments coming from users on a Tor node. Since Tor is often, or Onion Tor, or whatever its term is, Onion Tor is often the dark side of the web. You want to block those. Check IP against the Kismet database on logins. Looks like it's temporarily disabled and temporarily disabled for Kismet API. Check poison links. Now what you can do down here is you can build your own whitelist. You can see it starts by whitelisting my own IP address. You can build a blacklist of IPs. You can build a blacklist of domains. You can build a blacklist of top level domains. You can check spam words, and they start you off with a list of words that are usually spam, including such wonderful things as Viagra, Trispol, Trimadol, Vioxx, Allstate, Work at Home, on and on. And then you can keep adding your own words, such as the usual curse words and other miscellaneous things. Events to check. The only ones that aren't checked here is to don't check plugin forms. This disables the check if WordPress form appears to be in a plug-in folder. May prevent blocking of spam during some e-commerce type functions. History cache. This is the caching of it, of your size. Spammer message. You can set up a message that denies the spammers, or you can have fun and send the spammer to another web page where we redirect them. Spammers Hell, that's the domain we need. We need one called Spammers Hell. So at any rate, this is it for this plugin. If you want, you can have it here so that blocked users get a second chance with a CAPTCHA form, which wouldn't be a bad thing because that gives them the opportunity to prove they're actually human. So if they get blocked, comes up, gives them a CAPTCHA form. So anyway, save those changes, and you're good to go. All right, have fun with the Stop Spammers plugin. Take care. Bye-bye.